So they'll be calling you a radical. So this is our tribute to this beautiful, incredible place. My tribute to Rachel, our Chula Vista girl, who's done so much for me. My friend Peter in San Diego, to all the grassrooters, activists, the Fukushimas, the fighters, everybody who did so much for me to help me save my life from leukemia, the San Onofre shutdown, all these activists that came before me in this incredible place, all the people that got the solar initiative in San Diego, in old San Diego, goes all the way back, Chula Vista. So this is a thank you to my beautiful friend Rachel, who did so much for me. Peter has done so much for me, the C, who's helped me heal. So this is what I call the San Diego Margarita. And so I'll explain why as we go. There's no sweetness, no bullshit in this. So Mexican tequila, the good Mexican, turning Chula Vista lemons into San Diego Margarita. So this is our tribute to all the grassrooters and the activists that have passed in front of us. There's a lot of people that worked on the SOAR initiative that are passed and died. The SOAR initiative in California that was started in Chula Vista, that beautiful place, goes way back. The first city in California, so-called San Diego, I mean, all the way back, hundreds of years, these beautiful, incredible people. So this is our tribute to everybody who came before us and fought before us, and how much everybody that's worked on this activism in San Diego and San Onofre, how much I care about you, and how much I love you, and how much you mean to all of us. So this is what a San Diego Margarita is. So this is good Mexican tequila, right?
Fine salsa tequila.
Okay, so how much you want, Rachel? What? The whole bottle? Crazy. I mean, she is the PB Chula Vista. Peter's that enough?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I have the most.
Go figure, right? Well, you did the most work.
That's how it goes.
So, this is how this works. Whoa.
Nice. Oh, good one.
Lemons are so good that way.
Probably won't chew the rind.
The rind actually helped.
It's
Yes,
organic.
it does.
Mm-hmm.
Pass that back.
That's good.
So let's keep this video going.
It's a very good lemon.
It is a good one. It's a Chula Vista lemon.
Yeah.
Organic Chula Vista
It's almost
lemon.
sweet, in fact.
Very
It's
good.
almost like a...
So pull up your chair,
very slight
Rachel.
way, it's like a grape.
Let's keep this video going. Let's talk some more of your data. Peter, grab the data over there, if you
Here's the
please.
data.
First up, let's talk about your carb tree and this tree in Fukushima,
versus
Japan.
Hitachi.
This tree's the only tree that survived, right? Tell the story on the tree, and then we'll talk more data.
Okay, so the name of this tree, which is my logo, so I started my own company after I came back from Japan. First I sold vitamins, Usana vitamins, that helped us to recover. Just the only way to fight radiation is to be healthy. So I started my own solar company, or energy solutions company, as a consultant. I started off door knocking and then went into business on my own. And the name of this tree is called the Kibo no Ki. Kibo, my company's name is Kibo Energy Solutions. Kibo means hope. And the reason why this tree is named the Tree of Hope is because after the earthquake and tsunami, there was before the tsunami, there was a forest of these trees. And after the tsunami, there was one tree standing. I mean, this forest went for miles. It was not like just like a little bit of trees on the beach. This forest went for miles. And every single tree got knocked down and swept out, except for this one.
Beautiful story. Incredible story.
Now, it sat in water because where it was located, the water didn't ever go back. So it sat in water for months, and then it started actually to die. But the people loved this tree so much that they filled the center with like metal, and they reinforced it. And so you can still go there and see this tree. It's still standing there, and they built like a memorial there. So that's in Tohoku. So yeah, I recommend you go check it out if you're ever in that area.
Let's talk about.
Japan.
I want to talk the story about your communist friend in Japan and how this activism in Japan and you fighting back and how. Talk about him. And
so he was a retired junior high school student, but he also
student. You mean teacher?
A teacher.
Okay.
Retired teacher, and then he was part of the Communist Party in Japan. And when I met him was at the time that I had found my front yard was highly contaminated, and so he had heard about what I had found because I had gone to the city and I had talked to like everybody about it. And this was the highest spot that we had found over there in our area, and it was my front yard, which was crazy. So I had the city come out because, well, first I went to the city, told them the readings I had found on my Geiger counter, and they told me that I'm not qualified to take readings. And then I said, well, I invited them, why don't you come out with your Geiger counter and we'll do it, right next to each other. I got that on video too. And our Geiger counters matched. It was like really, 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 theirs was like 0.69, mine was 0.7. So they told me that I had to clean up the dirt and bury it on my property. And that's what anybody who found a hot spot, that's what they would tell them, and that's what they would do. And I was like, wait. So I'm not qualified to take readings, but I'm qualified to dispose of it, to gather it and handle it and dispose of it.
You could be the new Rick Perry. You could be the new Energy Solutions, You could go to work for the Trump administration. He'd love you.
Oh, yeah. And so it was like going around in circles with them, I was like, I'm not going to bury this on my property. I'm not going to do that. You guys need to come out and clean this up. And they're like, no, we can't do that. And I was like, well, what should we do with this then? And he's like, well, why don't you send it to TEPCO? And so,
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. I was like, well, okay then.
Oh, wow.
So, no, but I came to a point where I was like, I was like right in front of the guy at the city office. Am I on candid camera? Like, and I just started laughing because I'm like, I can't believe that you're telling me to bury this on my property. You're not going to come out. The way I got them to come out was this dirt was gathered on the curb, on my curb. And so technically that was city property. And so that's how I got them to come out. I was like, technically it's not on my property. Yeah. That's your guys' responsibility, not mine.
Yeah, I'll bury my own in my own backyard. Clean up your own backyard.
Yeah.
Right? Wow.
And so,
Same.
And even all the schools, whenever they cleaned up dirt, the city cleaned up dirt because there was nowhere to dispose of the dirt, they would just leave it there on the property. I have a video of, they didn't even bury it on the property. They left it out where the kids could get to it, right next to the...
And you knew it was radioactive, and the communists say...
Oh yeah, they labeled it.
And so he...
Okay, going back to, So this guy heard about what was going on with my house, and he came out when they came to clean it up. None of the men that were cleaning it up were wearing a mask, gloves, nothing to protect them. And they were cleaning up this dirt, and the guy told me, let's send it to the lab. And that's what started this whole thing for me, was when I found this in my front yard, and then he approached me saying, you want to send it to a lab? He's like, I'll pay for it. This one he paid for. He paid for it. And so I was like, okay. And that's what started it all.
Good for him.
Yeah. But he was a leader. He was a leader. I don't know. I can't say like the top leader,
So
but he was
a
a
person
leader.
like that is so important in this, what we're talking about. See, because he says, I'll pay for it. And he gave you verification, which emboldened you. Hey, I'm not completely crazy. This guy helps me. And I mean, that type of stuff matters.
This guy, you never divulged his name or anything, or is he?
Well, he's in videos with me.
Oh, is
he's
he?
in videos with me. Yeah, we would go to the city office together. But he had told me that he was communist, but I didn't quite understand what he was saying. That he was part of. I thought that was just all mixed up. I thought he was telling me that he thought Americans were communists, but he was saying, I know you're American, so I just want to make sure that it's okay.
By the way, I want people to know this. We're in PB. We're in San Diego. Peter and I are old enough to remember, not that long ago, how powerful the Communist Party was right where I sit. And who it was. You know, we're right by the PB where we talked last night. We're in the local, in the bar, the pitcher of champagne. Tell the story, Peter, about Cameron Crowe and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. His mother was an incredible actress, which my grandparents and so many of those people were communists right here at the FTO.
Cameron Crowe went to Claremont High and grew up in Claremont, and he was, he wrote that story, and it tells the story basically kind of how I grew up. And
Me too.
Me too.
And so we all grew up that way, but Cameron Crowe's mother, right here, was the great actress. So many of these people right here. There was this Communist Party in San Diego was very alive and well when we were young. Very alive and well. Big. And there's still elements of it here too. So I think it's irony again, because 29 indigenous people living in symphony in San Diego Old Town, the first thing, until they come back, which very communist, including my great-great-grandfather, Abraham, the Mormon communist. You know, so these roots, it's iron to me that some of these great activists, like him, self-identify as the communist, because not in what we connotation what a communist is, which we've been poisoned by that. Oh, this is capitalism. No, it's not. It's militarism. The Soviet Union was no, it wasn't. That was militarism. So communism. There's a lot of those roots that go all the way back in Chula Vista. It's perfect that you talk about this and the lemon. These people lived in symphony, in harmony for thousands of years here in the last. So go ahead.
Yeah, so he had told me that, and I didn't realize that he was a leader in the Communist Party there in Japan. They saw an opportunity to get more power, to gain more strength, because nobody in the government was doing anything to help the parents and the children. And he was doing a lot of the Communist Party, a lot of articles came out about them, the things that they were doing, testing and everything. So they did a lot of work there. And so he accompanied me many times to the city office to find out like who came up with these legal limits. You know, I have that one document that shows what the city was trying to tell us is the legal limit. Well, I don't see it right away, but sorry. Anyways, the legal limit in Yokosuka is 0.69 microsieverts. So the other reason why they went ahead and came out was because it was not 0.69. It still is 0.59 microsieverts per hour. That's what they say is the legal limit. And I went to a town hall meeting, and that's the document I was looking for, the handout they gave. They explained how they came up with 0.59 was based on, because it was the parents that were being loud, based on a child being at school for 8 hours a day with a certain amount of radiation. 0.59 microsieverts is that certain amount limit.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day for our city. So our whole city limit was based on, but this dirt
But
was
don't you live there 24 hours a day?
I live there 24 hours a day, and not only that, that's talking about you're getting radiated, from something is emitting rays at you. Okay? Mm-hmm. That does not talk about when my children are running during PE and the wind is blowing and the dust in the yard that has radioactive particles blowing around, and my kids are breathing it in, ingesting it, digging in the dirt, picking their nose, and my kindergartner's pillow was the highest spot in my house.
This is important now. Let's talk about this. This is real important. So we've talked about this before, you and I. It's online. So again, it shows you how anybody can manipulate sign, which the nuclear energy crime signal is medieval. This is a perfect example. But the pillow, this is a fantastic, powerful story. Talk about how you know that the pillow was the highest.
Well, I went around just testing random spots in my house, but it It did. I read something about the little girls are more, vulnerable and
Because it gets in their hair.
The younger children, yeah.
Closer to the ground.
Yeah, they're closer to the ground. When the wind blows, it acts like a filter.
Of course.
And it freaked me out because I'm American and we take showers in the morning. Most kids take showers or baths at night in Japan, but we do showers in the morning. And so she would come home from school, and after playing in the sandbox, which I forbid, I talked to the teacher and I said no on that, and found out later through pictures that the teachers take, and then you get to see all the pictures, that my kid was playing in the sandbox. Not only that, they have one day where they strip them down in their underwear and they fill up the sandbox with water and they let the kids play in it like that. Yeah. And I had no idea that was going on after I had already forbid them to allow her to play in the sandbox.
So, Beach talked about this. Back to the solar initiative and all this, and this, as far as the bathing at night versus showering in the morning. This is a big thing with mine, fighting cancer. I want people to understand, because I'm a 1%er, so I have AML de Nouveau. We have the Farrah Fawcett, which I call with that beautiful, incredible woman. The reason I named it is she died so tragically low. Our water coming out of the Pacific Ocean now. Salmon can't live in it, starfish can't live, but we can drink it, we can blah, 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 blah in it. So, in Japan culture, and many cultures around here, the soaking in the mineral tubs, whatever, in this side of Japan, they're very famous for living very old. And so I'm one of those guys. I buy into the always have. I will take the bath at night to relax, where I refuse to shower in the mornings every day because, and the soaps we use, whatever, and this is my fighting cancer. And because, and again, the Japanese, that's why they live, and it shows you how organic they are with their food, with their thing. And again, the clean tequila, the lemon, this narrative all fits perfectly. This is why, when they can cover it up in Japan, the whole world's banned the food, everything, because they are sticklers. I mean, her husband's a Japanese sushi chef over there. They're sticklers on organic food. Okay? And they're pulling this cover up on them. What have they done to us?
Well, yeah, that's our livelihood. My husband's a sushi chef. We're opening a sushi restaurant. And that's our livelihood. And if I can get a scintillator, if anybody out there wants to get a scintillator.
We'll get you one. We'll get you one.
I will be testing the fish. I will be testing the fish, and believe me, I will be writing down the data, keeping data also. But it makes me angry, and it should make everyone in the seafood or restaurant business angry that we don't have these kinds of tests already happening.
By our government, because we're paying taxes anyway. How come we're not? So this is important. So right after Fukushima happened, and I'm the guy that termed, it comes down to either we killed Bert and Ernie, pull the funding on PBS, or we pull the funding out of seafood testing. This is 10 days after Fukushima happened, but the government was shut down just like now. By the way, we need a fucking fence 500 years ago to keep these European invaders out. So anyway, so when Fukushima happened, I'm going crazy, I'm crying. This is shortly after the government shut down there. And the debate's going down in this gazillion dollars, the great military city. Fuck you. Here's my salute to the military industrial complex. Not the troops, their pawns, to the complex. Here's how I salute them. The complex, not the troops, because I support the USS Reagan troops. We support the troops, we support the troops. Oh yeah, I'm the only one supporting with the gun in my face. Where are you phony fuckers with your yellow sticker on your car? So it came down to, what are we going to do on the budget? This sacrificial lamb, because we're spending trillions and billions. And by the way, Trump has restarted nuclear testing in the Nevada test site. I'll be out there ASAP. This whole madman, he's as sick as Obama, maybe even worse. Crazy. So the sacrificial lamb, it came right down to it. They pulled $10 million annually out of the seafood inspection to the FDA right after Fukushima happened. Now you think about this. So not only that, the last bill passed by this insane Congress, 2010 to 2018, which I call the teabagger, kill the earth, cover up Fukushima Congress. So we go into shutdown, they can't get anything done. You know what the last two bills, and Trump signed them on January 14th. Do you know what the last two bills were that have been passed by this Congress? Not this Congress, the Congress before, and Trump signed them? One to kill 94 sea lions at Willamette Falls in Oregon to save the salmon. to kill them, shoot them. I mean, but the hypocrites are saying, no, they're lethal injection, and so it's okay. The other bill, he signed it. The other bill is to advance more nuclear energy weapons, and that's it. And people don't want to talk about that. So go ahead. Back to Shula Vista and the solar initiative. But go ahead.
Yeah.
So your testing of the food over there?
No, go to the pillow story.
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah. Well, yeah. It just seemed logical to me, also, and so that's why I was testing my kids' pillows. But also, I was testing other things in the house because they said, you walk, the house is worse. Inside the house is worse than outside the house. And so, yeah, my dining room table went up to 0.7, the same thing that I found in my dirt. So, but my daughter's pillow was the highest spot that I found. I think it was like it went up to like a 0.84 is what I got from her pillow. So, yeah.
Makes perfect, logical, good sense.
And then, when she was 11, like two years ago when she was 11, she had an emergency surgery because there was a cyst inside of her fallopian tube that had twisted and stopped the blood going to her ovary at 11 years old. And I'm always waiting for the shoe to drop, the other shoe to drop. So when she complained about just some off and on pain, then I was like, well, let's just go see.
Don't you know, Fukushima has killed no one. So Jacko and this other asshole, just killed on fear. So I emailed them both. I says, oh yeah? The head of the Fukushima 50, remember all that Dog and Pony show? His mother emailed me. This is in 2013. And says he'll be dead in 2 weeks. Fukushima's killed millions. And so these guys that come out and say this, Gregory Jack and Son are NRC, and that's the narrative that's being put out in these pieces of shit books. And these guys that were inside the situation room, Jacko was inside there. Rachel and I talked to them at these hearings. We've been at these hearings, These fucking derelicts ought to be in prison. I mean, to me, what they did to you, to your children, not only that, everybody in the Northern Hemisphere, it's murder or attempted murder with malice. And so they do this to us. And then they come after us. Well, I got leukemia in 2011. I got ML de novo. I was in a bone marrow trying to suck up to nothing. And I'm here to tell you, I mean, you want to talk about anger, and then people wonder why I'm so angry. But they can try to kill us. And it's been proven, everything I said. But don't fight back. Don't stand up for yourself. Or they will kill you. Now you think about that. Your child's pillow. But they can do that to us. And then our own government will attack us, and we cannot defend ourselves? I mean, look what they've done to me. Look what they've done to you. Look what they destroyed me. I mean, because of
phone companies and banks and everything else do to us. I mean, they've got everybody's captive to stuff and doing and their automobiles and their houses and their fucking money, and it's all this monopoly game.
Consumption junkies, what's your function? But that's a narrative hypnotized. But I'm talking in the acute situation where our own government, Hillary Clinton, bring on the food when the rest of the world bans it, our own government with malice intentionally hiring trolls to go after me, hiring freaking people to actually try to kill me physically, kick me off Medicaid when I'm fighting for cancer, physically attacking me for what? For what? Trying to save the earth? Trying to save the earth? I mean, government agency, not philosophically, physically attacking us. They're going to cover this up.
What I'm saying was real. The banks, all the powerful institutions are attacking us, including the military, including the banks, the government. Everything's attacking us. The whole system is meant to oppress the majority.
But it wasn't always that way, and so it's ignorance is not our friend. And so people want to go along with this. Well, you can only be hypnotized if you want to be hypnotized. So my point is, I got cancer. Rachel fought back. The girls are doing okay, right? The girls are fine.
Yeah, and we're still watching. Two of them have lumps in their breasts, but we're watching. It could just be like fibrous.
24 minutes.
Yeah.
So the conscious fight back.
But my 11-year-old, the cyst on the ovary is a little bit more common, but a cyst in the fallopian tube
unheard of
is 1 in 1.5 million adult women. 1 in 1.5 million adult.
I wonder where that came from.
And she's 11, having the surgery.
That's just a coincidence, Rachel. Yeah. The Pacific Ocean
the
dying.
Bananas.
The salmon. So the salmon record return to 2050 go thing. The tide pools collapse. freaking the salmon collapsed down to freaking nothing. That's all coincidence. Well, as scientists, as citizen scientists, I guess, but I'm more than a citizen scientist. Everybody says, well, you're a PhD. I have multiple PhDs. I'm not some just crackpot, you know. So, no, coincidence doesn't get it in the scientific world. I walk the tightrope. Our work, this work, we're proving the PhD. So again, one more shot?
Sure.
No, you better not.
Why not? I just had another one. I'll do this little half one.
Back.
Okay, you're at 25.
¿Por qué no?
So,
But you can say, ¿por qué no?
you say something in
Or you
Spanish,
say, ¿por qué no?
you say something in Japanese, and I'll say something in Kevin Blanch's rhetoric.
Spanish first.
Go, Spanish. What do you want to toast to?
La tequila está en la mesa.
I like it. Rachel,
Something in
Japanese.
Japanese. Hi, kanpai, minasan, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. We need something in, oh, I have a little bit in there,
Just a
huh?
little bit.
Just a little tiny bit. Okay, that's all we need.
Hopple mix.
To fighting back, to conscious activists and citizen activists, people who actually give enough to give their soul and do the work. Thank you to all the activists in the support of this, and we've tried to fight against this beast. We've tried, right? One last time. Hold on. So, thanks, Rachel.
I love lemon.
We'll do as much as we can, and I really appreciate your incredible work, and thank you for doing, thank you, Peter, for all the work.